We got some things. Yo, first of all, how are you, Paige?
Fucking awesome. How are
Good.
you?
How are your friends that you brought to the show?
The friends that I brought to the show. I didn't bring anybody to the show.
You brought two friends with you. Bugs is in. It was the first ones that jumped on the screen.
I don't know who they were. I can't take credit for them. I would like to take credit, but I don't know who they are. So I was like,
dang, girl, she brought the friends to the show. Yeah. Yeah. So, couple of things. What's your thought on? I know we haven't been here in a while. We haven't been on the show in at least almost a week.
Yeah, it was a week because we didn't do anything. I wasn't able to be on with you last Thursday.
Right. So there's a couple of things we're going to go through through some current events first before we roll out. And I want you guys to join in, man. What you guys think about the I don't know if any of you guys are hip hop heads. I am. I'm a huge hip hop head. And I listen to a lot of underground hip hop, stuff that's non-commercialized or whatnot. But what y'all think about like the climate? Kendrick Lamar came out, Beyonce was the biggest thing, they came out with the Super Bowl, and then Kendrick Lamar came out and, he came out, and just his whole performance during the Grammys was just like on a whole nother level. And if you just looked at the audience, like everybody had a dead face. And they didn't know what to do about it. Yeah. They didn't know what to do about it.
But, trying to look like they're enjoying, but not too much. It was just it was very awkward.
Right, Nikki, you're right. He's saying stuff that KRS-One said years ago, but then KRS was saying stuff that, Dr. Henrik Clark was saying before him. I mean, one thing is you got to have generational tides. You got to have, people that, that are going to reintroduce it every couple of years. Because, after a while, especially it can become trendy, and once the trend goes out, then it's no longer there. Mm-hmm. So I absolutely give him props. Like I would rather him join on with KRS-One and with Dead Prez and with Ciroc and, with Poor Righteous, preachers. Like I would rather him. I'd rather more rappers jump on that train rather than, skip it, and just be like, just allow them guys to speak on it. David Banner, I give him a lot of credit for keeping the energy up.
Yeah, absolutely. I follow him. He's awesome. He really is.
He's dope, man. And that album, The God Box, man, I just know, man, he's creating a whole movement with it. So,
you're holding your breath. Why are you holding your breath, Nikki? You think that you think he gonna change? Like how Kanye started out real good and then he flipped the script. She's like,
I don't think so. I don't think that, man. Because if you think about Kendrick, man, he's been doing this since before this climate hit. Like Kendrick, he's been kind of weaving it in there.
I'm thinking about Section 80. I'm thinking about Good Kid, Mad City. I mean, it's always been there.
Yeah, he's always been spitting those gems. And the one thing about it is like, we also got to take responsibility in terms of ourselves. We say Kendrick holding his breath, but there's a lot of cats out there that's been doing what Kendrick's been doing and nobody's saying anything. Like nobody said anything just because they wasn't Kendrick. Like Locksmith out of Cali. Locksmith, he's out the Bay Area. He's one of the baddest dudes out. Nobody's really, spitting his name, and he's been spitting this stuff like since forever. And so, yeah, man, we gotta hold on a sec, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, dear. Well, go ahead. Yeah, you see what I'm saying, Nikki? Like you haven't heard of him. There's something wrong with that. Like there's something wrong whenever people don't know who Ciroc is and who Nairobi Salah is, or who Locksmith is, or the extent of your underground should not be Immortal Technique and Tech Nine. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be the two millionaire underground artists.
They even know them.
Huh? Say it again.
If they even know them.
That shouldn't be the extent of your underground, hip hop knowledge. I mean, we gotta, Yeah, but even then, like I said, you know, the one beautiful thing about the internet is, you know, we have Blab. You know, nobody in reality, nobody knows who Lex Kelly is. I mean, I can have gems that drop all day, but in reality, I'm not even touching the masses. So really, it's the responsibility of everyone else to make me famous. Absolutely. Because what ends up happening is we wait for the people who own. We wait for the people who own the radio stations and the television stations to handpick somebody to put out, and then we attach to that person. But what happens is they handpick people that is willing to adjust to their agenda.
Absolutely.
So we out here talking about, you know, Kendrick Lamar or, you know, or Beyonce, why they ain't said nothing earlier. Well, you got to remember, they were handpicked first. Like they were put in that arena.
They played game first.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar been rapping way before we knew about him. But the only reason why we knew about him is because we wasn't on the underground stuff. So we got to think about what other things do we not know about because they're not commercialized?
That's a good question.
Absolutely. You know, when we talk about, you know, a lot of what Paige does, you know, in energetic healing, you know, why is it that we don't know about that? It's not as though it's foreign. She ain't have to go to China or India to go get it. So why is it that we wait for something to be commercialized in order for us to really grab a hold of it and see the benefits in it? You know, I don't know either. Like, I don't understand why, you know, why we kind of do that. Is it an insecurity? Is it a trust thing? Like, are we in love with Viacom? It's like, what is it?
We're in love with blending. That's what it is.
Blending.
You know, blending, you know, and it ain't hot unless somebody else says hot. It ain't this unless somebody else say, you know what I mean? Like it's the fear of being an individual and standing up for something different, you know, no matter how radical or even how much it resonates with you. You know, it's just like, okay, now Coach Fan in the building. That's my boom. Sexual Intellectuals in the building. I know that name. I saw that.
Man. Welcome to the show, homie. Yeah.
I mean to tag you. My bad, homie. You told me to tag you too. My bad, dog. I'm sorry.
But he on here.
No, but I think it just really boils down to, you know, individuals. They don't want to be the odd one in the crowd. You know what I mean?
Taylor was good, homie.
What's good? They coming through early too, on time.
Yeah, I mean, all 9:18 and shit.
This is Jimmy first time on this thing. You gonna like it, Jimmy.
Yeah, welcome, man. Listen, more than welcome to, you know, make sure you keep alive in the chat. Jump in the hot seats. They're always open. Today's open topic. So we're gonna be hitting a lot of different things. And we're gonna try to go deep as well tonight. So yeah, definitely jump in.
You're sweet. You're my dog. That's a homie though. Like when you've been working with me since like what, 2009, 2010?
Yeah,
we've been Twitter family for like forever. Yeah, I got on in 2009. So like, you know, he knows me and my famous rants. It goes down. Days of Twitter jail. You don't want to go there, Lex. It's not fun. Twitter jail.
No, I don't want to go to Twitter jail.
Twitter jail not fun.
Look, my Periscope has been non-existent.
You ask me to interact on Twitter. I'm telling you, you would love it. Twitter's my home. But then again, I ain't got no choice because Facebook don't play with me like that. So I ain't got no choice. They think I'm pornography and all. So Twitter be rolling. Yeah. Can I boost my post? No. Like, dang, I'm paying for it. I don't care. I don't care at all.
All right. So peep game. So okay. I put the video up, and I want you fellas, I need y'all to chime in on this. Nikki, I need you to chime in on this. And everybody chime in on this. So peep game. So I was working out this morning with my workout partners. They happen to be women. And we was going through conversation, and it's crazy how the universe works, how it attracts, you know, whenever you put something into your consciousness, and, you know, it kind of attracts that same thing around about. But I was talking to him about how certain requirements, when we make requirements in our relationships, are we even equipped to maintain those requirements? You know, are we even equipped? And I always say this, and you know, it's going to go a little bit further, like at the end of the show when it goes into my word. I'm going to talk about how you measure up your requirements and your rules and your relationships to essential human needs, how you pair them up. So anyway, we're talking about, I said monogamy, for example. You know, many women.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you know, it's always a great example. I said monogamy, for example. Women require monogamy. I said, but do women really have what it takes to maintain a man in a monogamous relationship? So here's the killer. So I get off Facebook, and then this clip of Judge Hatchett, divorce court, rolls up. And there's a guy on there and his wife. And he's saying that in the beginning of his relationship, he said to his wife, if you want me to get rid of these 2 other women that I'm sleeping with, that you're going to have to pick up the slack for them. Oh. And she was like, bet. As long as you with me, you know, I'll pick up the slack. And then it got to a point where she couldn't do it.
Slacking.
She started slacking. You know what I mean? So I was like, damn, that's crazy. We were just talking about it. And I want you guys' opinion. Like, should we set rules in the dating phase for things that we can't upkeep?
No. I think that's the ultimate setup. Like, you know, like, don't even play yourself. Like, just be real, keep it honest. You know, it made me think about Scandal. When Olivia Pope, she didn't like being the only one. It was easy for her to be the side piece because she had a way out. She didn't have to be his everything. She was okay with being his sometime. She would say that she didn't want to be his sometime. She meet with him, but then when it got real, and it was like, oh shit, I got to take care of all this by myself. I'm here with you day in, day out. I got to do it all your crazy, all your mess. I got to, and do it with a smile. It was like, nah, this ain't really what I thought it was going to be.
She couldn't do it.
It was easier for me to be a side piece. It's a lot of work being with you full time. You know, sometimes, I mean, you know, people like to hate about the side chick, whatever, but sometimes side chicks know exactly what the heck they're doing. They just want you for the happy times. They don't really want to be there with you and when you're angry and arguing. They just want to, kiss you on your little head and, rock your little world, feed you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? See you on your way home.
Be out. But why is that so threatening to the other women who can't maintain it? Why is it so threatening? I mean, it's kind of obvious to me. It's just like, so you're a wife, you're my wife, and listen, once a month is good for you. Once a month is good for you. I ain't really trying to give you nothing more. Once a month, I'm at that place right now where sex ain't really on my priority list. It's not even something I'm focused on. All that energetic shit that Paige talking about, fuck it. I'm trying to lay down and go to sleep 29 days out of a 30-day month. So I'm in the bed by 9. So, but, ain't no side pieces for you though. But if there is a side piece, I got a problem with it.
Nah, 29.
Yes. So what's going on? So it's like, all right. So if I got a job, I got a full-time job, and it's not bringing enough money, you ain't got no problem with me going to get a part-time, even if it means spending less time with you.
Damn. You gonna do it like that? You gonna do it like that?
I'm just asking the question. It's like, let's be honest.
So I can't have a part-time lover? Is this my full-time? Like adding up and up the
bills is adding up. Stuff got to get paid. Baby's got diapers and stuff that needs bought. And you're like, look, you're gonna be looking at me like, look, homie, these bills are stacking up. I need you to do something about it. I'm like, all right, baby, I'm gonna go get me a part-time job at the corner store. You know what I mean? So, but you ain't got no problem with that. And then they say, listen, when I get this part-time job, babe, we ain't gonna be able to spend a whole lot more time together. I got my regular job. I'm out of here. I'm at work by 7. I'm getting off at 3. I got to be at my part-time job at 4:30. I'm out of there at 10. I come home and I'm in the bed and I'm doing it again. And then I got to work weekends too. You ain't got no problem with that. But if you ain't giving up no nookie, you know, nothing but once a month, then you got a problem with me saying, listen, let me go ahead and get this little shorty. She mad respectful. She ain't going to be messing with her house. She clean. We get tested, the whole 9. And she agrees, you know, listen, she don't want my time no more once or twice a week. I don't want to give her no more time more once or twice a week. And you ain't got to hear my mouth about, yo, my thing is hard. And I won't deny you whenever you want some. Shoot, you only want it once a month. That's easy breezy for me.
You said, where's that woman? I know, right, Jimmy? Good luck.
Hey, no, listen, they do exist. And I'm trying to tell you, they exist.
Yeah, they're unicorns, though.
It's been told to me. I've met about 3 unicorns.
Yes,
I met about 3 unicorns. Out of how many? 3 unicorns in my life that was like, yo, listen. And I'm like, no, no, I can't do that.
If the tables were turned, would you permit your woman, if her sex drive was higher than yours and she wanted more sex than you could afford to give?
In my mindset right now, yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
She was like, not. Oh, you want to go get you some, but she ain't gonna.
Yeah, not. I would. I'm be honest with you. I would if table was turned. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a monogamous type dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I don't really have an issue with monogamy as long as as long as everything's good. You know, as long as I'm not starving for nothing. Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna have no issue out of me if I'm not starving. You know, the problem with me is I'm a highly elevated person, so that means I'm always on the hustle. I'm always trying to make something better. And that's either my career, that's my body, that's my spirit, and that's also my relationship. So if any of them become mediocre, I become agitated. Mm-hmm. I don't like mediocre anything. So no, I wouldn't. If I was a dude like, listen, this ain't going to work out, or if I had like erectile dysfunction or some stuff like that, I'd be like, we got to figure out how we're going to make this work. We got kids together, and I don't really think it's fair that you should suffer on account of me. I'm not that type of individual. I don't know why anybody who would want somebody else to suffer or not be to the greatest self because, because of me. Y'all gonna have to talk to me, James. You that type of person, Jimmy Scott. You that type
James.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad, James. Well, Jimmy, is your name? Jimmy, is your real name James or is it Jimmy? Because Jimmy could be short, could be, the nickname for James is Jimmy. I don't know. But Jimmy, are you that dude? You that dude that you'll like sit there and watch your wife suffer because you can't get it together? Is that what you, because you said not.
Yes, he is.
Jimmy said you're gonna sit there and die.
we gonna suffer together.
There ain't no suffering. You're not suffering. If you can't, he not suffering. If he don't feel like doing it, he not the one suffering. He good. He not suffering.
Cold world out here, man.
It's cold out here, man. I always say possession is 9/10 of relationship. Like, what's really going on?
I was on a rant a little bit last night. Well, I started to get on one. I was watching on OWN. They had a marathon of "It's Not You, It's Men," the Tyrese and Rev Run show.
Right.
Have you seen it yet?
I haven't brought myself to see it, and I need to. I need to stop being a hater.
Damn. I love the honesty. He's like, I'm working on that.
Yeah, I need to stop being a hater and watch the show, because my thing is this, man. It's like, I know so many great dudes out there that are not small time. Mm-hmm. That are not small time, that really do this relationship thing. That do this. Like, this is this is what they do. Right. And again, they handpick those individuals and they give them a mic. And now I will give it to Tyrese, man. He's created a platform. He be spitting some realness. Some of his stuff be he be spitting some realness. But at the same time, he's got some stuff to learn. But I got to give it to him. But at the end of the day, they don't be really bringing them boys up in there. I want them to bring them boys up in there that's going to drop some real knowledge. You know what I mean?
Oh, they tried. Let me tell you what happened last night on your topic of monogamy. Mm-hmm. Monogamy was one of the shows, right?
Right.
And they had a doctor who wrote a book about monogamy. He studies monogamy. He's like a scientist or whatever, right? So he's done all the data, this and the third or whatever. He said to them that by nature, human beings are not monogamous.
He's right.
By nature. And monogamy is more so a social construct, meaning we've been socialized to believe that that's really what we want, or that's who we are. But if it all boils down to it, that's why so many people cheat, because they're not supposed to be monogamous, but they try to force themselves to be monogamous because society says what you're supposed to do.
Right. We said that on this show many times. Right.
Reverend Ron, he's like, he started talking like, I don't agree with that, and men are not non-monogamous, and
confirmation bias.
Men are not more likely to cheat or something like that, whatever. I know I don't, blah 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 blah. And he started wanting to talk about God. He's a Reverend Run, right? So then boom, right? White dude got him. He was like, listen, Christians have a higher divorce rate for cheating than non-Christians. Reverend was mad. He was like, talking about he's trying to quote Bible scriptures and stuff, and then they cut him off because the white guy was gonna get with him because it's the truth. He's like, you're socialized to feel some type of shame about, having sex with multiple people, what have you, you know what I'm saying? But if there's a situation where you're stuck and you're having, like what you're talking about, you're stuck in a situation or whatever, and then, you're not able to, have the sex that you want, whatever, but then you have a lot of things that, you have other things that you have with your partner, then why not be open to have, open marriages or monogamy? Now, swingers, or not monogamy, but polygamy and all these other, like, all I'm saying is that you don't have to divorce, break up because of someone not being able to be monogamous. There are other ways.
That's why that website that's why that website was so famous. Was it Madison something?
Ashley Madison.
Ashley Madison, man. That joint was, and I have a homeboy who got the list.
He got on there?
Yeah, he got the list.
Oh, he got the list.
The list. Yeah, he got the list whenever they hacked into the site.
That went out, right?
Right, but yeah, that's why Ashley Madison was so popular, because people are just. And matter of fact, Zoe, my mentor Zoe and good buddy Zoe, he had the founder of Madison before it messed around and got hacked, but he had the owner of the site on the show, and he said on the show, he said, listen, there's a reason why we have so many subscribers, because people want to be able to have their family, wake up to their kids, keep their assets, you know what I mean? Take the kids to school, go to soccer games, all this other stuff, protect their families, the whole nine. But at the same time, be able to have some type of physical connection as well. And we've been socialized to kind of merge it together, or
suffer if there is lack thereof of that, because of the greater good of, okay, I want to keep my family, this, that. When in actuality, it needs to be a dialogue. I was upset about it because I felt like they didn't give that doctor his just due. It's like they put him on the show to kind of like set him up and try to slander him. You know what I'm saying?
And they wouldn't have
what he was saying. They weren't open. They weren't, and that upset me, because I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, this is OWN. This is Oprah's network. Oprah's very progressive. She's very, very, metaphysical. So I thought when they say, it's going to be controversial, grown folks conversation, it ain't. I was disappointed. Yeah. When Amber Rose was on there, and they tried to say to her like, does she dress a certain way? Doesn't that warrant the certain negative attention that she gets when men try to grab her and this and that third? She's like, no, I don't care if I'm butt naked next to you. You got a condom on. And I say, no, I don't feel like having sex no more. That means no. Don't matter what I'm wearing. Maybe I want to wear something sexy because I think I'm cute. Right. I'm loving how I look in this outfit. I'm not wearing it because I'm going out saying I want to fuck somebody. I'm wearing it because I'm having fun with my friends. Like, why can't I just be me?
Yeah, and I agree with her. But what I think happens in this conversation is, I think common sense goes out the door. And like, there's certain conversations that happen that common sense goes out the door. And I agree with her. I think that you should be able to be whoever you are at whatever time you want in your life. Absolutely. But I also think it defies logic and common sense whenever you kind of adopt this idea that you are living in your own world. that you don't have to take, because here's the thing, your wants often are, and in my opinion, your wants are often, I guess you could say, they follow behind what you desire to happen in life. So, for example, if you say, Paige, I want to build my own business, all your behavior patterns will move in the interest of building that business, and they will make all the sense in the world. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, well, this makes sense because all these things nurture the environment needed in order for me to build a business. So for a woman, and you want to be, and you live in an environment in a nature where it's hypersexualized, where you have men who love women, and then and you already know just through propaganda and through television, the whole nine, that women are put on. I mean, they sell everything. Women are put on to sell everything. You get freaking toothpaste. They're putting a woman half naked just to sell some damn toothpaste or Colgate. I mean, so this. So if your main objective in life is to be respected, if your main objective in your life is to be able to interact and engage with people with as minimal barriers as possible, as minimal mental barriers as possible, then what ends up happening is you tend to kind of like gauge your behavior pattern to achieve that goal. You tend to. Ain't no way in the world somebody like, yo, I want to play football. And then every day you fighting to wear a baseball uniform. Right, so she ain't going to sit here and tell me that her whole mission is not to be looked at as a physical being, because that's what you promote the most. Me, for example, I'm into fitness. I keep myself in shape. But what do you see me promote most? My brain. You know what I mean? Right. My brain, my intellect, my communication. If one day you see me start posting pictures on Instagram all buttered up with my 6-pack out, then I've switched lanes. Not the butter. Buttered up and shit, all oiled up and shit with coconut and shea butter and shit.
Not the butter. But I get what you're saying. I do think, I think what this is the thing for women. It's like a slippery slope, because it's like we're trying to find our voice. And trying to, we want to be looked at, of course, desired and all that of the nature. It's kind of almost like look but don't touch, in a sense, like respect, like I'm wearing this, that, and the third, but it's not an invitation to slap my ass, or it's not an invitation to grab my boob, or whatever.
To look, and that's it. And look into your peripheral vision. Don't look straight ahead.
Don't gawk. Nah, don't stare. Don't stare too long.
That's all you get. That's it. After that, I got a problem. That's it. That's all you get.
But I think that I understand where she was going with it, but I do think that there has to be a standard that has to be set as far as women. I mean, I do believe that, I think, had it be possible? Absolutely can be possible. But it has to be a precedent set. You know what I'm saying? That just because because people walk around butt naked in Africa and it ain't looked at like, oh my God, it's sexual. Ooh, look at titties. Ooh, look at that pussy. Nobody will do that, right? But, in America, because women are often as sex objects, men are looked at as success objects. Right. What happens is that it forces women, if we want to be taken seriously, we can't distribute our femininity. We can't be sexy in how we want and feel like, how we want to feel, because of the fact that we have to worry about you looking at me thinking I'm trying to seduce you because I got on a low cut blouse. My titties big. That's just what it is. And I don't want to wear a turtleneck. You know what I'm saying? Why does it have to be that? You know what I'm saying? Why does my blouse have to do anything with you?
It has to do with me liking titties. That's what it has to do. It has to do with me liking titties. Like, I'll give you an example.
But do I have to bear the burden of that? Like, okay, you like titties, right? Cool. But I'm not coming at you. I'm not being salacious towards you. I'm not giving you any innuendos. What gives you the invitation?
Right.
To be like, your titties. Like, what?
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And I don't think there should be a standard set. I think there should be a choice made. And at the end of the day, I think it's just a choice. And, you know, even as a man, I know that there's a choice as well. Like, for example, the way I dress, you know, I can sag, I can do all this other stuff. Now, I get it on a deeper level. We shouldn't have to conform to anything to make anybody else comfortable. I shouldn't have to pull up my pants if I don't want to, just so cops and other people don't think that I'm a gangbanger or a thug.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's the reality of it right now. So my ego allows me to navigate and say, you know what? My ego isn't attached to saggy pants. Because my ego isn't attached to, you know, to white tees. You know what I mean? I cut them out when I turned 17, I cut them white tees out. I cut them out. And I cut them out quick because on my block, man, they were starting to profile us. They were starting to profile us, so I had to cut them out. But I wasn't attached to the white tees. Like I wouldn't ride or die for white tees. Like what the hell is that? I just put on a different damn shirt.
I want to ride or die for white tees. I mean, I don't know. But then it's like a double-edged sword though too, because then you got Hillary being slammed for wearing pantsuits all the time. Oh, she want to be a man because she wear pantsuits all the time. Man, so you can't win. You can't win. It's just this thing where it's like, you know, well, what do you want us to do? If I am comfortable in my femininity and I wear something that's form fitting and something that makes me feel good, then for some odd reason you can't concentrate now. But then if I wear something that's similar to what you wear, slacks, then you wonder like, oh, are you a butch? Are you lesbian?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to?
I just say be able to handle it. I just say be able to handle it. I say have enough with it. Yeah, just have enough within yourself to be able to walk out however you choose to walk out your crib and wear whatever you want. Be able to handle what comes, and don't be expecting everything to be positive. Don't expect everything to be negative. Absolutely. Don't expect anything. Just whatever comes, be able to handle it. You know, I get it. Like men, we get the same thing. Like, and especially in Atlanta, like men, we got to deal with the gay boys.
Oh yeah, you do. Oh man, they stare you in your eye in the mall, like we got to make sure they connect with you in your soul to see if you gonna give them the look back. Hey, me and Akil be in the mall. He wears shades every time he in the mall. He's like, you should see the niggas be trying to look in my eyes. Like, it's crazy. Like, man, what's up with these dudes, man? I was like, oh no. Yeah. Like, nah, homie. Not over here.
I'll be hugging Ray all tight. I'll be like, I got my babies all up in here. I'm carrying babies. Like, see, this is what I produce. I produce babies.
Right. This is what happens over here.
Yeah, this is what goes down over here. But yeah, you're right. But I just, you know, so if I get done going from the gym, do I gotta, you know, if I got a wife beater on or whatever, do I gotta throw a t-shirt on now just to prevent that? Or I get the same thing from women.
Yeah,
you know, you get gawked at by women,
especially in Atlanta. Woo, the ratio is so terrible over there.
Yeah, so it's like so I get it. Obviously, I'm nowhere near comparing it to women, but I get it. You know, I get it 100%. But again,
I know you get it. Women call you gorgeous. I know you get it.
But she was drunk.
I'm gonna always remember that.
She had on beer. She was drunk. She's like,
she wasn't even hot drinking that. That was
so gorgeous.
That was a hot beer that she wasn't drinking. You're so messy.
He's so drunk.
She was sober. She was conscious. Yeah, she knew what was going on.
But you know, I think at the end of the day, you just know how to balance that out. So however you're going to adjust yourself, you find that balance. You pull back based off of how much you can handle. If you can handle being able to walk around in public and still keep a very open energy so that way you can receive good people. Because what ends up happening if you close off, you put less clothes on, but then you put more protection on your ego and more protection on your personality. Now you can't meet nobody new that could potentially help elevate your life. Because you're constantly in this defense mode. And that's where a lot of girls are doing. They're you know, I think you just got to balance it out. Throw a couple extra clothes on so that way you can now meet people who are authentic.
And just peel off the layers like an onion, huh? Like
just a little bit of time. As you get better, let the skirt come up a little higher, and then when it get real close to naked, call me.
I'm done. I'm so done.
Listen, and fellas, listen, I want you guys to type to chime in. I try to tell women this all the time. It is very difficult. It is very difficult for men to turn down pussy.
I can believe that unless it's just totally just like a butterface.
Even then. Even with
the body right, then the butterface don't matter.
Listen, man. Listen, and I know dudes are not bad looking dudes. You know what I mean? It's just they're not bad looking dudes, and they didn't mess around and knocked off some Jones. I'm like, what the hell was you thinking? And I just think I just think you just got to get to a certain place in life as a man where, for me, I just speak for me personally. Whenever I was able to see women as humans, not just objects, you know, whenever I'm able to look at you, be like, damn, you're fine, but you're still a human. And then recognize all the traits and attributes and flaws that come along with humanity, then it helped me balance out. Because now I can look at you like, dang, you're bad. But I was like, what else is going on? So now I got to sit back. And when you sit back for a minute, and I say this before, I said, when you sit back for a minute, you just got to allow yourself, you got to allow your brain time to catch up with your dick. You just got to allow it to just kind of come off and just relax. It's kind of like when you're eating. And, you know, when you're eating, the shit's so damn good. And you just eating. And then you want some more. And you just kind of sit for a few minutes.
Because you got no room, so you want to digest a little bit.
And the next thing you know, you're full of shit. And you're like, man, I'm full. I can't eat no more. I'm full. Man, we got to do that with women. And I do that a lot. Like, that saves me. It saves me a lot. Like, I'll just sit back and I'll just listen to you talk and let you talk yourself out of me wanting to fuck you.
Damn. Hey, those who are that are out watching,
right?
If you have Twitter, get on Twitter so that way you can interact in the chat. Otherwise, you won't be able to jump in the seat or interact in the chat. And feel free, anybody that wants to jump in.
Yeah,
I mean,
jump in the hot seat. Yeah, jump in the hot seat. Yeah, hop in. Ask some questions. Like, you know, listen, Tuesday's topics it's very free flowing. It's very free flowing. It's whatever you want. But don't get it twisted. My ass can think I'm goofy as shit. And I'm on here cussing because that's who I really am. Like, I'm a cusser. But at the end of the day, I'm well read and I'm well studied. So don't get it twisted. I'm smart as shit.
I'm a cusser. I started to buy this shirt that said I'm classy, but I cuss a little bit. I started to buy that shirt. I'm like, yeah, that's me all day.
Man. So,
let me tell you.
What's up?
Listen, like, I was telling Nikki about this, so Nikki gonna be kind of giggling about this. But there's something going on here. I don't know what's going on, but I did a pleasure mixer. This was Saturday, right? At one of the Trump condos down on Miami Beach. In the penthouse, right? Never been in the penthouse before, so I was sitting there like, these brown people up here in the penthouse. This ain't a vacation room. This is actually where you live. Okay, this is nice. Well, I did the mixer, right? And the whole attendees were all Christian women. And the one who hired me, she's been celibate for 10 years.
I know she was suffering.
And she is waiting. She wants to date, but she's kind of terrified of dating because she feels like, you know,
Jim said, bruh.
She doesn't want to interact sexually because of the emotions. She wants to, you know, she doesn't want to interact, right. and then because it's more than just sex for her. It's emotional. It's, you know, her whole being, and she doesn't want to. She don't want to make the mistake of picking the wrong guy, and then
fuck around and die and be in the grave.
And she doesn't masturbate because I asked, so do you masturbate?
Wow.
I don't masturbate. She's never had oral sex, receiving or giving.
Yeah, Nikki, she got all kinds of cobweb and stuff off in there.
And so it was refreshing for me. It was like, wow, like, you know, I mean, this, you know, if that's what you choose to do, you know, I said, don't let your friend make you feel bad about, you know, oh girl, you missing out. Ooh. I mean, you have to do what works for you, honey. So if that's your normal, then you wave your celibate normal flag, and you let it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? So it was her, and it was another one. She was celibate. I think she had it going for a few years. Then you had some that turned celibate. I want to ask y'all, do you understand the concept of, okay, I've had sex before, you've had sex before, but we're not going to have sex until we're married? Do you understand the concept of that?
No, there's so many holes in that. I rip it apart. I rip it up. Nobody asked me that question because they get mad at me. I rip it apart.
I got a feeling. Know what you would say.
I rip that shit apart completely.
Because the ones that ain't want to marry you got the pussy, right? So I want to marry you and I can't get the pussy. Is that where we going with this? No, because I start breaking down the marriage. I start breaking down what is your idea of marriage. Because you mess around, wait till marriage, have sex, and you're not unified. He said ain't no going back. I'm done. Yeah. You said it. You already broke the seal, huh, Jimmy? You ain't going back now. Wait a minute. You put the seal back on. It's done. I found it quite interesting. You know, it was interesting because like I was only supposed to be there for hours, there for like 2. Because they just was like they really, engaged and talked. It was really, really cool. But it was like that the whole notion of it, which I thought was really interesting. The dynamic of it was that these are Christian women that were saying they're tired of the church not talking about sexuality. And making it seem like sex is something that's negative, or it's something that is impure or dirty or sinful. And they were, so that's why I was there, basically, to kind of like really, really, give some insight and really kind of break down, energetically what we're talking about. We're talking about sex, and also working out the stuff on the physical level. Like, I don't like my body, so I'm gonna have sex with all the lights off. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure I'm under the covers like this. And you better get up under here if you want some of this. Like, you're not going to see nothing. I know somebody that had been in a relationship with a guy for years. He had never seen her naked. Never seen her naked. And I was like, well, how does that work? She's like, well, hey, what's going on? Londa in the building. TC in the building.
Can you bring Nikki in? On my end, it's not letting me.
Nikki, I don't see her.
Oh, you don't see her?
Hang up and come back because I can't see you. Maybe because you made me guess during the same time or something.
Okay, maybe.
I know, Yogi. Where you been, girl? Shoot, dog.
Yogi, what it do?
Mika, what's good?
What's going on?
Let go.
So we in here talking about women who are waiting, who are waiting until that right person to have sex, and does it even make sense? Or what is? I would always ask the question, Paige, is like, how do you know what's the right person? What is your litmus test for what the right person is? Is it somebody who meets your ideas and who taught you those ideas? Like, okay. I can't bring her in.
I got it. No, it's different. They changed it.
Yeah, it is. It comes off to the left-hand side. What up, boo?
Yeah, I saw it. Hi, boo.
I got a few
What's going
questions.
on?
What's up?
You got some questions?
You got some questions?
I'm scared.
Yeah, I had a moment today, y'all. So my thing is, what is it with educated Black men? Why are they so intimidated by Black women? I don't understand. I really don't. Like, I was walking on campus today, and like in this certain building, it's not a lot of Black people. Okay, it's just that field. It's just not. And I walked in and I seen 2 Black men. So I walked by just to see if they was going to look up and say hi or try to introduce themselves. Try to say, okay, it's a Black female here. I've never seen her before. What happened? They looked at me, got up and left. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was like they were so intimidated. And I just don't get it.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's intimidation. I think it's insecurity. It's more insecurity. Now you gotta understand this, Nikki. Like we all have our own sickness. Women have their own sickness when it comes to how they perceive Black men, and Black men have their own sickness in terms of how they perceive Black women. And it's all having to do with a conditioning and a process and a thought process that was kind of programmed into us. So there's a lot of men, and it has nothing to do with who they've chose to give them information. So when you talk about education to me is not you going to an institution and allowing them to give you information that they control. That's not education. Education is how do you move around life functionally. Education is how do you create? How do you become more versatile? How do you develop? That's education. So they're not very educated. You weren't dealing with educated men. You were dealing with conditioned men. Mm-hmm. And that is not and that wouldn't be something that I would generalize or make a blanket statement, because it doesn't apply. They are posers of educated people. But what happened with those brothers is they just didn't know who you were. They didn't know that you was a god that walked in that room. They didn't know the shit that you could produce around them. So whenever you walk in,
I share you on that one.
Yeah, they didn't know that. So
who know about that Ashe?
Yeah, Ashe, but yeah, they didn't know. So you're gonna get educated black men and conditioned black men. It's gonna be different. So you're gonna get an educated black man that'll be in that room, and you walk in, and the first thing come out of his mouth is, "How you doing, sister? You all right?" Mm-hmm. And he's gonna open up his spirit.
What I was looking for. I was looking for just some interaction. You know, what you doing up here? Right. How did you even get here? Since we such a minority, I don't even like using that word, but in that,
that situation, yeah.
But look at this, Nikki. Who's God in that situation?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're right. It was a test, though.
Right.
She's like, okay, you got me, but just saying.
Right. Now, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that it was your responsibility. What I'm saying is that you had a choice. So you could have been like, "Good evening, brothers."
You could have supposed
and immediately they would have had to make a decision in that moment how they was going to interact, and either they was going to tuck their tails between their legs, or they was going to step up to the plate. See, the one thing about God will make you. God will show you who you are real quick.
You know what's so funny about that, though? You know what's so funny about that? And I have to say this because, Nikki, I get this a lot. I was told, my best friend, who's a guy, he said that, if I didn't know you, right, just by looking at you, I would have a different perception of you. I think you kind of stuck up, which I think is funny because I know I
get that all the time.
So when I hear that, right, from guys, and they're like, "Dang, you really like cool as hell," whatever. What it makes me realize is that, you know what, I have to invite them sometimes to speak. So I'm gonna speak first. Hey, how you doing? You having a good day? I mean, don't go to the grocery store with me. Gotta speak to everybody, high and low. I don't care. If I get your eye contact, I'm gonna speak to you because I know that this ism that I got. You know what I'm saying? This greatness walk in the room, and maybe they don't understand, and maybe they think that this greatness is receptive to other greatness. Right. Or that I would even entertain a conversation or just being polite and saying hi, hello, because of the fact that I have to say this, unfortunately, that there are a lot of women who, because they feel they are so up here, that they have this very nonchalant attitude. And so if you get that enough, then you may assume that all the women, are that way. For example, Lex, remember we were talking about, you say that women in South Florida versus women in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Totally different in regards to that. Like they're not going there. If you speak to a woman in South Florida, she may kind of look down and say hi, or she's not going to be very warm and open and engaging. Versus up there, what I'm saying, just a different perspective. It's a different whole little thing because it's expected that in South Florida, I would say, it's expected that you saying hi because you're trying to have a conversation. And I don't really want to play with you like that. I don't know where it's going, so I'm trying to avoid speaking to them, be a little standoffish. Versus Atlanta, they kind of want a conversation. They're like, shoot, please be straight. Please, yes, speak to me.
Right. Yeah, because it's real up here. It is real in the field. It is so real out here.
I get that a lot too, Paige. Man, I don't even know how many men say, man, I always thought you was stuck up until they get to know all the time. And I'm like, how could you even get that?
Well, they got that.
I don't give that off at all. They say it
has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with how we feel around you. So it has nothing to do with you at all. So if I'm a male and I know that I don't have, or I feel that I don't have anything to offer you of value, the first thing my brain is going to say is, you don't want it. You don't want me. And because you don't want me, I'm automatically going to project the idea that you're stuck up. Because there's nothing that I can offer you. You're unattainable. I can't conquer you. You're not like, I feel that you're not easy. I feel that you're unattainable. I feel that I can't conquer you. So because of that, when I look at you, I'm going to make up every freaking excuse in the book. Why is it to justify why I can't walk up to you and say, good afternoon, sister. Man, you look amazing.
And I smile. And also what I do, because I'm aware of my energy being that way and being can be kind of overtaking.
Yogi said boo. Right? Why you say boo? Why you say boo, Yogi?
No, she said boom.
Oh, boom. Oh, I missed the M. My bad.
Yeah, the M not there. Yeah. But because I know that I'm being told that's what I give off, what I do is I make sure I smile often. I don't walk around like a joker. Because I hate when men say, oh, smile. It's like, well, I mean, damn, I'm not looking mean either. Like, all day. Hey, how you doing? That's not natural.
That's a little bit too much.
That's a bit scary. You think I'm on meds, right? But, it's just one of those things. But I do think it has a lot to do with, their own self-esteem as well. Them feeling that you, like he said, that you are unattainable. A lot of the prettiest women are single because men just won't talk to them because they already won't talk to them. That she got somebody. She not gonna holler at me.
Right.
Whatever. I had friends that were bigger than me, and I was always the prettiest one. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but I am. But they got all the hollers. They had all the dudes holler at them. I'm like.
Now you feeling insecure. Feeling insecure.
I'm like, man, I gotta eat some rib sandwiches. I mean, what I gotta do?
Well, I'll tell y'all this. I'll tell y'all this. It took me. I had to learn how to deal with women. Like I had to practice and learn how to deal with Black women because I've always loved Black women. I've always been attracted to Black women, but. That was just the energy that I grew up in was that if I feel like I don't have anything to offer you, and oftentimes the exterior or superficial, then I have nothing. There's nothing I can do for you, and it just wasn't true. And I had to build myself. Oh, that's the babies.
Yeah, my bad.
That's all right.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
Okay. This is a baby-free zone.
That's my house.
It's my house, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if your daughter is.
What's going on?
Yeah, this is a baby free to roam show. This is all good. Once you have babies, you tolerant as shit. That's your babies? Oh, tell them I said hi. Go ahead. You got suckers over there? You got some suckers? Give me a sucker for me.
I gotta go plug this in. I'm still here though.
All right, cool. Right. I bet.
Yeah, but yeah, I had to learn how to deal with women. I had to learn how to step in front of a woman and see her beyond her physical self. And once I learned to do that, then I was able to interact and engage. And then what I found out is now I have more and more and more beautiful women around me with quality relationships, and they're non-physical. They're non-physical. Before I had women around me, but most likely, they were energized by physical. But now, man, I just
Lex had a harem.
Yeah, I just got females around me, and it's all good. You said,
yeah, you know what I mean? You gotta hear him.
I gotta hear him.
No, but I mean, I think that's but I do think that also a lot of credit goes to your thought process and how you look at women too. I think that if you think that women are a certain way, then those are or just like with women, you think all men are a certain way. Those are the type of men that are going to be a part of your reality. That's what you're going to see. You're projecting that out to the universe. I say it all the time. I mean, I know more good men than I know good women. I want that to change. Right. I want to meet more quality women. I want to meet more women that I can say, I have a lot in common with them, or, wow, I can hang out with this person and we're on the same wavelength. We're both trying to get it and do positive things. All the women that I know that are like that, guess where they live? Not in South Florida.
Right.
TC gets it. Tamika right now?
Yeah.
Own it. Like, me and her can be in the same state, Lex. We just could.
Which state you in, Tamika?
We just could. So, hey, boo.
What state you went to, Mika? Where you at? Where we expanded at? Matter of fact, aren't we supposed to have like oh, she's in South Carolina. We're supposed to have somewhere off in here like a map, and that map shows.
It's gone.
Yeah, and that map shows you.
I appreciate that. I feel some kind of way.
Where everything is. I don't know.
Jimmy, you from Carolina? I didn't know you was from Carolina.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm learning new stuff today. I did not know that. Where you at now, Jimmy? And Yogi, where you at? Always curious.
Lima, Ohio. Right.
Lima, like Peru, Lima. God, they named anything.
No. Yeah.
I didn't think it was a Lima in that.
What's going on, Andrew?
Damn Ohio.
Welcome to the show, Andrew. All right,
Andrew, what's up, babe?
So let's talk about this. Let's dig in a little bit to relationships a little bit. Problem solvers versus problem creators. Now, I say this because oftentimes, you hear this thing to say men are problem solvers. Like, we like to solve problems. And that's one of the reasons why men and women have a hard time communicating, because, women want to vent. They want to talk. They want to get stuff off their chest. And men are like, how do I fix it? How do I fix it? How do I fix it? What's going on, Sean? I am Shatonia. Yeah, we're going Shatonia.
Every time you call her name, she says Tony. Every time. You don't even do it.
It is Tony. Yeah, I see. My bad. Hey, Tony. Hey, girl. Hey, boo.
Hey, girl. What's going on?
Your thumbnail look hot. I like your thumbnail look good. And, I'm halfway blind, so your thumbnail look good. You know what I mean? I be like, damn.
You are.
Does she look?
Oh, I am.
Does she look good? Oh, no.
So
I put my glasses on.
No, not your glasses. Say it. Not the glasses.
But,
Joe, what's going on? Welcome back, Joe.
But so they always say that men are, we're fixers.
Right.
Now, what does that say? How does that man feel if he's chosen a woman who's a problem creator?
He got a lot. He gonna never be bored. That's what I mean. That's why they like crazy pussy. He never gonna be bored. Always gonna be something. Always high action, high energy. I hear it all the time that the crazy women got the best vagina. I think that's
they do.
Crazy.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
You know why?
Because they have no holds bars. They have nothing. There's nothing to keep them in confinement, and they just boom. They just out there. Yeah.
The crazy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. No. I have another theory on that. It's just like the broke men have.
Look, Nikki said bullshit. Are you saying because they're not crazy, Nikki, or are you saying because you got the best coochie and you're not crazy? Which one? Which one are you advocating for?
I go and answer B. I think she's gonna go towards B. I don't think she's gonna go.
She said because I got the best, my girl.
Right. Absolutely. That's right. Two show on horn, boo. That's right.
Go ahead, Mary J.
Listen, all right. No, seriously, like this. There's something to be said about this, right? Because women, follow me on this. The dudes that don't have nothing else going on, the best would. Like, I mean, break your back in two, snap it like a twig, right? That's all he got. Same thing for the crazy chick, right? Just off the chain, whatever goes. You know why? Because they ain't got nothing else to bring to the table. So they better perfect something to keep somebody around. Because what else you can't talk, you have no conversation, you have nothing going on outside of it. So you better find something to perfect to make you a commodity.
But here's the thing, and this is where I got to ask the question. When we say crazy, we're saying a woman that can't be tamed. See, if you got somebody who don't have nothing else going on,
I'm talking about crazy like high speed chase crazy. I'm talking about like you mind because we had sex and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is.
Yeah, but men, we talking about the irrational chick. We talking about the stalker chick, the irrational chick, the chick that just be dropping by and don't toot no horn or nothing, just drive by. and then call you while they drive by like this. You home?
Well, no, crazy is what you're talking about.
That's crazy.
I'm talking about the good wood is what I was talking about with nothing else going on, just that. No, they be educated and have it all and be batshit crazy. I understand. Right. I know them. I know a few. I do. Yeah. I know the stories. I'm not the homegirl that's gonna climb the tree with you. Say, girl, let's sit outside his house, girl. You gonna go by yourself. I'm not her.
Yeah, yo, out there breaking backs, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Climbing up trees and stuff. I'm not her. You know, some people got that friend that's gonna go and do whatever they want to do with them.
So is that where the maintenance man comes in? You know, you always got to do the rich woman. They always put the rich woman who be having an affair with the pool boy or with the personal trainer.
He got nothing but energy and time. He got nothing but energy and time. A man, listen. The husband is working, trying to make a living, trying to provide. He's tired when he get home. That pool boy ain't doing nothing but sweeping them little leaves out that pool. He got plenty of energy. He got nothing to damn do but break your back in two. That's all he do. You know. So I mean, I had a conversation with my guy. See, like sometimes he just like work all the time and just be tired. He want to lift it up on me and cuddle.
Is Paige pixelated to y'all? Because I'm looking at you, Paige.
I saw myself pixelating at one time, but it's like when I move. Is that what's going on when I move?
Which is odd because usually I'm the one jacked up and you're the one that's like perfect picture.
Let me hang up and call back. Like I'm on the phone.
All right.
I'll be right back.
I'll call right back. Right. But yeah, so what I was talking about the trouble, the problem solvers, and then the problem creators. So I'm gonna ask you ladies this: are you? She's coming back on. There you go. You're better.
Am I? Because I'm moving now, so I want to see if y'all see my soul glow when I do that. Y'all see my last dragon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Much better. Right. So what I'm asking this is like, ladies, are you the type of individuals who like cry over spilled milk? Like, are you I'll give an example.
Okay.
Like, I'll give you, like, I was talking to my daughter. I was in the room and I was talking to Ray, and my daughter and I had just given them a bath and they was in the room, and I was just on the bed, and I wasn't on the bed, but I was standing in front of the bed and I was just folding the towel. So I was just I was giving my hands busy work while I was talking. And my daughter said, Dad, that towel that's our towel. It's not clean. You don't have to fold it. I said, I know, baby, don't worry about it. It ain't going to hurt nothing. Mm-hmm. But that's how I generally think about things in life. Like, I put things in categories. Like, is the shit going to matter tomorrow? Is it going to matter next week? And if it doesn't, I don't give it no energy, none. But this annoys the hell out of Ray sometimes. And I'm just wondering, is this something that goes along with many females? Like, do you guys like create a problem based off of something that potentially just isn't a problem? You have to make it a problem. Like, you have some things that are problems that are problems. Like, you didn't bring it upon yourself. It's just a problem. Like, your car broke down, the freaking engine fell out, something. That was but then you got other things that's only a problem if you make it a problem. Like, you have to create it in that moment. So I'm gonna ask you guys, ladies, are you guys problem creators? Like, do you guys do things like that? Like, do you take something that could be potentially nothing at all, just a moment in life, but create a problem? Do you guys do that? Do you do that, Paige?
I've done it, but see,
that's why I love you, Paige, because you don't be on here acting all sedity and like how you ain't never did shit. Like, I love you, girl.
Man, G shit, right, family? Because I love y'all. Yeah,
Tanya said she did it before. Why? Why do y'all do that?
Tyrant before I met my guy that I have right now. Like, I'd be totally honest with you. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna see how far I can push you. Push again. Okay. You gonna react to that? Okay, I'm gonna push you a little bit. I want to see how I want to see what you're gonna take, and I would do that because I didn't respect the person that I was with. If I respect you, I don't want to poke the bear because I'm afraid of what the bear may look like when it's exactly right, ladies. That's it's like a thing where it's like you ain't gonna do nothing, you're gonna stay anyway. You're gonna deal. So I mean, yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna be petty right quick. I'm gonna have a little tantrum. You'll be all right, type deal. It's fucked up, but it's the truth. Versus like with it, but at the same time though, I do think that understanding who you're with also can prevent a whole bunch of craziness. Like, for example, I'm very critical. Believe it or not, I'm very, very critical. I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I have an issue with like stuff like, let's say, for example, I'm in the room. We having breakfast in bed, whatever, and you finish eating breakfast and you put your plate at the end of the bed and you continue watching TV. I need that plate to be moved. It ain't bothering nothing.
Why?
Because to me, that's laziness. Like, you gonna just have the plate just laying there. Just get your ass up.
But you created that. You titled it laziness.
Yes. Like, get up. Like, what the hell? Like, you know, like, you don't let it stay down. If I'll sit there and watch you at first and see how long that bitch gonna stay there. You done got up. You did all kind of shit. That plate still goddamn there. You know, like, is it gonna kill you to be efficient? Then you mess around and then you spill something or whatever because you done left that there that doesn't belong there. Just put it up.
All right, bam. Okay, so I love that you said that. Mm-hmm. So this is going to take us to the next segment.
Okay, cool.
When we talk about conflicts in our relationships, in my opinion, 95% of relationships fail due to people's own destruction, their own destructive behaviors, their own destructive thought patterns, their own destructive rules and bylaws. Mm-hmm. You know, this whole, we wouldn't meant to be together, all this. I don't really buy into that a lot. I think that two people who make a decision and say they want to build together, they can build together. They just got to figure out how.
I agree.
And then make decisions that don't destroy it.
Church, Ashe.
That right there.
Give you Ashe.
That right there that you just described was a creation. Like, there was no book or nothing, no internet, nothing that came on the news, or God did not come down and say, listen, no plates on the end of the bed or else you're going to spill something and you're going to be lazy. Like, all that was constructed in your domain. And I say domain. Yeah, like right, in your domain.
Hurry back.
Right.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, but at the same time, wait. Let me give you a backstory, though, right? But don't tell me that you struggle with organization and that you need to change and you need to fix that. Don't tell me that. And then I see you do shit like that because I'm going to check.
But here's the thing.
I'm going to be like,
but here's the thing. But remember, Paige, when you talk about what is organization and what is and what isn't organization, that those rules or that whatever gives it that title, who was it created by? Who was it created by? See, here's the thing.
For me,
when we start thinking,
go ahead.
Yeah, for you. So say when we start sitting back and we start thinking about, okay, who created all these freaking rules and bylaws and standards? And we start questioning that shit, then what ends up happening
get in the seat, Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Yeah,
Taylor,
come on, it's hot. It's ready.
Jesus.
So when we start questioning all that shit, then what happens is we're able to sit back and say, him putting his plate at the end of the bed can be dependent from or can be independent from his organization functionality. It can be independent. They don't have to coincide. And what I've learned is in relationships that things have to be movable. It has to be very universal. Because if they're not universal, if we kind of put this one size fit all type idea in it, then we take the creativity out of our relationship, which then stunts our growth and our abilities to be successful. So it'd be awesome for you to sit back, to have the mindset and say, he just sat on the edge of the bed and watched TV, and then let that be it. Let it have its own independent experience, its own independent time, and its own independent reality. And then let something else have its own independent time. And now what happens is what you do is over time, once you do that, you can really start to see patterns, like real patterns, instead of seeing patterns that you've created on your own, that you projected on your own.
Absolutely.
Because now you're like, all right, I looked at all this shit independently and all this shit looked the same. So now if he puts that on the edge of the bed and he fuck around and falls asleep and he kicks it off the bed and he does that 6 times in a row, you know that, hey, you might want to get up and put the plate in the sink right now because you know you're about to nod off. You know what I mean? Right. And then you kick it off and then it breaks. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when we project it and make it a problem before it actually is a problem, then we have a problem. And then most relationships break up based off of problems that were created by ourselves, not based off of real problems.
Right. And what I was going to say, what I was saying about it also have been knowing who you're dealing with has a lot can really, really help the situation is he pays me no mind. He's like, that's just who you are. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not a problem. It's like, okay, listen, hey, get the plate, whatever. And it's like, okay, I got it, whatever. No big deal. Or no, it's going to stay right there. Oh, well, it's not going to get to, that level, but you have to know who you're dealing with too. But remember, I was talking about poking the bear. Like, I know that ain't poking the bear. So I would do that. Sure, absolutely. But I'm not going to raise my voice at him.
But I don't know could he be poking you? Could that translate into poking you?
Absolutely.
See, so now when so in his mind, if he don't want to poke, see, and here's what ends up happening. I think most of the time, like, damn, folks don't, at work talking my head off, Mr.
Sorry, Jimmy.
Because your ass is at work earning a check. That's why.
Get them coins though, Jimmy. Get them coins.
That's all right. We're gonna play it back. But it goes back to where I always say is that representation of love is giving somebody the greatest representation of you.
Oh my God. I quoted you yesterday on that. I swear. I promise I quoted you yesterday in my kitchen. I promise you I did. I will tell you about that conversation in a minute. Go ahead, because I want you to see what you're going to say. But y'all going to be like, what? But go ahead.
Right. So whenever we talk about things like pet peeves and all this other stuff, I don't think that's a reflection of your greatest self. I think that's a reflection of your lower self, because that's ego-based. Because in reality, it don't really matter. You can leave the plate there. When you get up, take it, put it in the kitchen. Like, that could really be the reality. But what ends up happening is another reality was created based off of reality that you think is going to happen. You get where I'm coming from? So whenever you get into this place where it's like poking the bear, it's like, I think there's less poking if everybody's giving their best representation.
So that means
if I'm doing things.
So his best representation would be picking up the plate when he's done eating.
Right, he can do that. You can do that, but here's the killer. Like, to even have to think about picking up the plate so that way he won't have a repercussion. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. And that's where we can't have, this is where, look, these are ready.
I know you're going to get me. I don't care, Taylor. I don't care.
Let Taylor in, because mine's not letting me. There it is.
I don't care, Taylor. I don't care. Taylor finna get my behind. Look at her. He ready?
Bruh. Come on. Get her, Taylor. Get her. Because here, you're going to have to work it out. I don't know what's going on with you. There we go. What's up, homie?
Yeah, that's all him. That was for me.
Yeah. So, Taylor, Paige is in here trying to convince us by default that pretty much we need to do what she wants us to do so that way things will be all right, like Kendrick Lamar. She's like, you know what? Even though ain't shit gonna happen from that plate being on the edge of the bed, the only thing that's gonna happen is what I create. You need to go ahead and do it anyway, just so you won't make me upset. So by default, fall into my desires. By default, fall into what I want you to do, which now restricts you as a person.
Give me a really good understanding of how you think and why that's not a big deal to you. We can have a conversation. No. I'm saying we can have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't have to be if you give me,
would that roll over with you?
I see, okay, I can see your way, and okay, fine, whatever, then fine. But if it's my pet peeve and you tell me that, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if anybody knows about challenges in numerology, so everybody has certain different challenges, right? He has a 4 challenge, which means he can be very scattered as far as, organizing and in order and doing things in a certain way or what have you. And he wants to work on that. It's the karmic debt, excuse me. That's what it is, karmic debt. So I'm not lacking a 4. So my nature is to aid him in his 4. So I'm going to say those things, which are going to kind of like annoy him, but he knows he needs to work on it. So therefore it's like, okay, I get it. Let me go ahead and do it. So it's not me being petty in the way that it may seem. It's actually a lot deeper than that. But for most people, it is a damn petty. So let's go ahead and let's keep it rolling. All right. I just had to say that though.
But hold up, Paige. But does that pettiness tie into your pet peeve, though?
So yeah, it would be a pet peeve.
So how can you say you're aiding him in something, but really it's in your interest, not his?
Because he's saying that he needs assistance in there.
But is it initiated in your interest? Is it interested in your interest, or is it initiated in his interest? Because come on, don't be like them nonprofits out there. Like, listen, I'm going to help you out because I know I'm gonna get this tax write off.
No, not at all. To be totally honest with you, yeah, it's a combination of both. I won't say that it's 100%. It's not 100%. Oh, it's me, or it's not 100% him. It's kind of like, you know, sometimes I let it slide. Sometimes I be like, God damn. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Taylor, stop this nonsense. What is she talking about? What is she talking about, Taylor?
I gotta back it up a little bit. Let me back up.
It's okay.
I gotta put it.
Tell him, Nikki.
No, wait, I gotta put it in the storyline and then mix your storyline together. Okay, I'll make this short. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you have a woman, right? And a man. Whether they married or not, whatever the situation is, that's not what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
And when she first met the man, she cooked him some food, brought it to him, brought him a drink, beer, water, whatever his thing is, right? Mm-hmm. When the man was with the woman in the beginning, he took her out, treated her nice, did his thing, routine. Regular basis. Over time,
right,
the man slowly lessened the times he was taking her out. Over time, the woman slowly lessened, starting to bring him a plate. It went from bringing him a plate to leaving it in the microwave. It went from going out to Netflix and chill. So the thought process is
right.
I'm trying to keep everything current. everything that people know. I'm using that as an example.
I got you.
So the question is between both people. I like to do both sides because I don't want to be one-sided. So the question is, did the man mean what he was doing when he first started, or was he creating an illusion of what he could be? Did the woman really mean to serve him in the beginning, or was she showing him what she could do for the man based on if he acted a certain way? Okay.
Right. Was it conditional? Right.
Right. So is it now with the plate on the end of the bed? Do she pick up the plate because my man is finished? Or did she say, you can pick your own daggone plate up because you got arms, you got legs? Kitchen's right over there. Or does the man say, well, hey, look, you got money, you got a car, you can go gas your own daggone car up. You can take your own self to the store. You can take your own self to the movies.
Why you got so many places that she can go by herself, though? You only gave her one place, man.
I just tried to keep it simple. We can go in the other directions, but I'm trying not to go that direction. I'm keeping it simple.
I got you. I got you.
The point is that why are you doing what you're doing? Are you doing it because they changed? Or is that you were already who you were and you gave them a false illusion? And that's sometimes where the problem comes.
Absolutely. I would say with the plate situation, it was like a situation where it's kind of like, you know, sometimes I would go, like if I'm getting up, right, and I have my plate or whatever, then I'll go ahead and I'll take his, no problem, whatever, right? But then if you just sit there and I fix you food or whatever, and you're finished eating or whatever, and then you just want to just lay back and just completely collapse. And so I'm like, you know, you can't, it's kind of like almost like the agreement of, you know, I cook, you wash the dishes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you can, this is your plate. You can at least do that. I mean, I must also, you know, even in the effect, I'm not going that way. I got to still be picking up your shit. Like you can't just voluntarily pick up your own shit. Like, come on, son. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how, you know, that's how I look at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind. Like, I'm a submissive chick, right? But I'm like aggressive submissive. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Listen.
Submissive.
I'm aggressive submissive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you know, I'm by that life, but you know, don't take it for granted either now, goddamn it. You know, this is a gift. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gotta be this way. This is a gift.
This is gifts.
It ain't gotta be this goddamn way. So just can you pick up your plate? That's all I'm saying. Can you pick up your damn plate?
Now, here's the thing, and I agree with you, Paige, and I agree with you, but I think that where this, I agree with you. I think where I would probably have a problem is I ain't got a problem picking it up. I got a problem with you telling me when I'm gonna pick it up, because me living life just like you, I should be able to lay the plate there, and then when I get done watching the show, pick it up and take it in there. Why I got to be you with me? Yeah, I'm a grown ass man. You know what I mean? Like, see, and here's these things when you talk about conditions and restrictions. Is that a true representation of love? Do you really like somebody that you restrict? Because all this stuff is not really conducive. All this stuff doesn't really say I like you.
I wouldn't.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really say I like you.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't go that deep for that. A plate. I don't really like you.
Hey, I think whenever people start majoring in, when people start majoring in the minors, that it's a I think it's a representation of some other shit. When people start majoring in the minors, it's a reflection. Jared, what's up, homie? You got to come home. You got to get in the hot seat. You got to come on, man. We over here talking about Paige's nonsense. Talking about pick up the plate. Pick up the plate, Gerald. Right now, pick up the plate. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. Pick up the plate. I'm pick it up.
You gonna just leave the plate there like that? You're gonna leave it. You're gonna leave it there for like
I'm gonna leave it there for a second.
Still there. Like,
just until I'm gonna leave. And here's the thing. And this is the thing. I'll always say this. I think that in real relationships where they're relatable, that you give each other the room.
Absolutely, Jimmy. Tone is everything.
To just
flow.
Not
what you do, is how you do it.
Yeah, just flow. And even if you put in tone and octaves and communication, all this other stuff, whenever that flow is restricted, you have to pay attention to that. You have to start digging into why did I just create a restriction? Why did I create a blockage in the flow? Where did that come from? And on top of that, why do you have to deal with my restriction?
You don't have to. But that's just what it is. It's free choice, free will. No one's keeping anyone anywhere.
And that's the breakdown of relationships. It's the lack, and it's the lack of ability. And I get
it's almost like this. It's almost like this, right? You know how, like, for example, right? Exactly let's say that example, right? For someone, the reason why I brought that example up was because for somebody else that doesn't get me and understand me, that would probably annoy the fuck out of them. You know what I'm saying? That probably would be a
Thanks for stopping through, Gerald.
Because they don't understand that that's just a part of how I move.
Right.
With him, it's like that's just who she is, whatever. He's still gonna do whatever the fuck he wanted them to do it. Let's not get it twisted. He's still gonna do whatever he wants to do it. But it's a part of me to say something and be like,
I do.
Dang, son, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But it's not a situation. But it's not a thing where, for example, me being that way actually makes him feel like, I'm a hindrance to him. It's nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? I think when you can get with someone and what maybe what most people probably would be annoyed with is nothing to you, that's when you got something that you can work with. You know what I'm saying? Because you're dealing with that person as is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not for me. It's not a thing where it's like, okay, well, shit, this dude won't pick up his plate. So then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's World War III. You know what I'm saying? I'm yelling, nigga, you ain't picking your plate. It's not like that, but I like what Jimmy was saying. Tone is everything too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like kind of looking at it like, come on, dang, homie. You know what I'm saying? That's me talking, play like that. You know, like, dang, homie. You know, the plate is gonna sit there. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? Right. You know, like that's how. But you got to have that dialogue. You have to have that. You have to know who you're dealing with, and I think that saves you a lot.
Hey, Taylor, does pet peeves often lead to hypocrisy?
Yeah.
Can people really live up to their own pet peeves? I think majority of people end up breaking their own pet peeves. Does it lead to hypocrisy?
Can be used as an excuse. Because when you know you have an issue when you recognize the issue, you can change the issue, but you just choose not to change it because you always can control that issue, the pet peeve. You can control it. See, if I say I got a problem doing this right here. I just got a problem doing this right here. But when I'm at work, I'm like this. But then when I get back to the house, I got a problem doing this right here.
There's a trigger at home.
You just choose not to control it.
Right. And you know, for me, I have pet peeves, but I tend not to put those pet peeves on anybody else. And this is one thing, you know, I try to enforce in the house. It's like, I do have pet peeves.
Teach me how, Lex. Teach me how.
Like, because I love people. I want your sanity more than I want my pet peeve.
That's nice.
You know, so I want your sanity more than I want my pet peeve. So I'll give you an example. In the gym.
That was nice.
In the gym.
I don't want to be there yet. I kind of enjoy this place.
I'm there. I'm there. So like in the gym.
I'm just saying what people thinking. Y'all think it's a game.
I'm there. I know what Paige is doing, but right. But like when I go to the gym, I have a pet peeve. Like when I lift weights, I like for all the weights to be even. So like, I don't know if you ever go to the gym and they have like the holes in the plates. All the holes have to match up. So that means if I'm doing like something crazy, like on leg press and there's like 8, 9 plates, I'm sticking my whole arm in the hole to make sure all the weights are nice and neat.
Right.
Look, Jimmy said it's OCD. But here's the thing.
Yeah, I'm like, dang, really?
Like that's just my thing.
Okay, gotcha.
But I don't make anybody else do that for me. So if somebody else racks my weight, I'll go and do it for me. I won't say, hey, can you make sure all my weight is even and shit like that. I'll say thank you for putting the weight on. And then while I'm working out with you, having a conversation, I'll just gradually go ahead and do the thing. Now my workout partner's getting
ain't that kind of disrespectful though? It's like, dang, you trying to say I ain't set your shit up right now. You come behind me and you
because after a while, my workout partners be like, yeah, they don't. My workout partners be like, why your stuff got to be even? I was like, I don't know. It's just something that I like. And then what they do, like some of them eventually will do it for me. Like when they put the weights on, they'll do it for me. But I don't make them do it. I don't be like, I don't charge them with something. Yeah. And if they don't do it, it's all good. Now, here's the thing with hypocrisy. I like to clean up my weights too. I don't like shit being out of order and not cleaned up. A couple of weeks ago, I fuck around and came off the squat machine and left and forgot to come back and de-rack. If I'd have been that asshole running around talking about how much I don't like how weights aren't racked, I'd have been a hypocrite. Right. So to prevent me from being a hypocrite, I don't do that. I just pick up the damn weights. No, Dennis doesn't get mad. Yeah. I just pick up the weight. So what I do in my house, I say the same thing. That's like, it's all right to have pet peeves, but if everybody in the house is in alignment with your pet peeves, just go ahead and knock it out. Just knock it out. Like, go ahead and do it, but don't charge everyone else for your pet peeve because that's not the way everybody else lives. So I take responsibility for my own shit. My own pet peeves, my own stuff. And I don't reflect that on you and then be like, oh, I need you to do that for me because for me, that's selfish.
Oh,
like,
you wasn't born to come here and serve Lex.
Ooh.
That's not where you were born. When I got in a relationship with you, I didn't say, listen, we're getting this relationship on a contingent. You serve me. we didn't say that.
On the dotted line for servitude.
Right. Yeah. If you don't serve me at any time, and I'm not about to guilt trip you and say, well, if you love me or if you cared about me, you would do it. I'm not doing that. Like, 'cause that's not what I'm doing. Why? Because me and my greatest self is the true representation of love for you. For me to allow you to move in your life as you see fit, that's me showing you love. I'm not going to restrict you.
What you got, Taylor?
I was having this conversation with what Lex just said. I was having this conversation with the lady. She was asking me these questions, and how do you find out if a man loves you, and all this other stuff.
How you find out? Why you gotta?
Okay. So I had to break it down.
Break it down.
So she was super Jesus, God, everything, and I said, okay. Because Lex said it. He already said it. He's like, if you love me, you'll do this, right?
I don't agree with that.
Yeah. No. Just he was making an example. I was using that phrase.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that's what Lex said. I'm saying he said that in the concept.
Yeah. I got you.
So I was explaining to the lady. I said, well, from what Lex said, he said we didn't come into the relationship saying you have to serve me. Now watch this. Now watch. Okay. Let me calm down. Wait. I'm excited. Okay. Now, when I was explaining to the Super Jesus, give me light. I love the Super Lord. Yeah, the Super Jesus lady. I said, okay. This is how you know. Like I said, well, this is how you know if a man loves you, he wants to love you, he wants to be with you, and vice versa. So here it is. I said, you have God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have you. Whether you believe in God or not. I'm talking to the Super Jesus lady to make the point.
Right.
Because I always get eaten up by when somebody says, I don't believe in God. God not real. Okay. I'm talking about the Super Jesus lady.
You're talking about Super Jesus. I never heard of Super Jesus. I heard of Jesus, but not Super Jesus. That's a new shit, but go ahead.
Jesus was fix it. Jesus made her eye blink. All that. Okay. So I explained to her, I said, you have God and then you have you, right? Now, God says, if you love me, you will do blah, 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 so forth and so on, right? Mm-hmm. So you say you love God. So if you love God, then you will do such and so forth, right? Because this is what he's requiring of you to show him that you love him, right? Okay. And I'm going to hold this word. I'm going to put it right here. Hold that word right there.
Okay. I got it.
Now she went, well, that's God. I said, okay. But God has also said, if you love me, you will love your enemy. You'll love your neighbor. You will love, so forth and so on. You pick the scriptures. Okay. I ain't getting to all that because I ain't going to assume everybody knows scriptures. So whatever. And she says, okay, but if my man, if he had loved me, he would like take me out more and do this and do that and da. And I said, well, did y'all discuss that before of the things that, this is how I like to be loved?
Right.
Explain that. Because if he explained to you that say, hey, I like head on Tuesdays and I like to eat ice cream on Wednesdays, then if he told you that in the beginning or over time, you need to show him that love, or you're showing him that you don't love him, right? And then she goes, yeah. I said, okay, so y'all discussed that, right? She said, no. She said, we just discussed, we're going to be together, spend time with each other and do things. So did y'all express what time y'all going to be together? No. I said, okay. Well, see, that's where the communication had broken down because you weren't detailed in how you want to be loved, things you like, what you don't like, what you disapprove of, what you approve of. I said, now watch. Okay, here it is.
Got it.
Here it is. Now, God was detailed in exactly what he said, right? She said, right. I said, so when you do not show God what he wants, it's because you didn't compromise within what he wanted. And that's the reason why you and God don't have a real relationship, just like you and your man does not have a real relationship, because you haven't broken it down in detail and worked together and come to a compromising position to show each other or to show him that he loves you. Just like you want him to love you, you had to explain to him, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, I've been through this, yada, yada, yada. You can't have expectations of a person if you have not expressed those expectations of what you expect. And that's the reason why God, and I said, now here's a side note. That's the reason why some people say they have a relationship with God and they go to church every Sunday is they're still not getting results because you're not showing God what he had expected of you and what he explained to you. And that's the reason why you go to church every day and you're not receiving anything.
Because they have to repent. They have to repent. They have
exactly. You should hustle God with money. Look, no, for real though. But you're hustling God with money, trying to treat God like he a pimp or something, or he's a lottery ticket. And then when you don't,
I'm paying my 10%. You supposed to give me back something. I'm giving my 10%. That's the deal. That is the agreement, is it not? I give you 10%.
No, it's not.
We're supposed to be fruitful.
That's what I'm saying. Multiplying.
Ain't no fruit around here. I don't see no bananas.
None. Not an orange in sight. Not an orange. And I'm in Florida.
Only orange I seen is Pablo out there in the corner. That's it. You the only oranges.
You right in Dade. The oranges in Dade.
Yeah. Juan is the only one that got the oranges.
With some oranges on the side.
Juan got them little ass oranges. They ain't even the good ones. They the little small oranges.
He said a shriveled up.
So. All right, so let's go into this. That had a that hit a point.
That was wonderful. That was energizing. You know,
Taylor, you brought up a point.
You're magical, Taylor. You know that. Let me give you some props. You're just magical. You're a unicorn. Welcome.
Taylor for president.
Welcome to the Unicorn Club.
Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead.
Taylor for president.
He's trying to drown me out. Doesn't want to be a unicorn. You're a fucking unicorn like me.
You said. So we talking about what?
So Taylor, you talked about discussing details. And I think, discussing details in relationships, especially at the beginning. And me, I'm of the believer that the more you know yourself, the better relationship you'll have with other people. The better relationship you have with yourself, the healthier relationship you have with your health, then with yourself, then the healthier and the better relationship you're going to have with other people, because you're going to attract who you are and you're going to reflect. Right. And you're going to reflect healthy. Right. So we sit down, we have this conversation, and we talk about details in the beginning. How does that play a part in the evolution cycle? Because we all evolve. Who you were at 25 is not who you are at 35. Who you are at 35 is not who you are at 45. Right. So how does sitting down and having that discussion right now, Paige, you can definitely tap in on this. How does that play a part into where are we going to be at 45? And how do we make sure that our relationships are flexible and movable enough to where wherever we are individually in our evolutionary process, that we can still stay united and we can still stay, have a united vision and recognize one another and appreciate one another for who we are and things of that nature. Like, how do we do that? What type of questions are we asking at the beginning to make sure that 10 years from now, we're still able to co-create together?
I got it.
He said, he just grabbed it. You got it? Well, then roll. Let's roll then. Go ahead. Taylor for president.
Y'all ready?
Okay. Yeah, we ready.
All right. So I got these keys, right?
Hey, Yogi said she didn't Google the picture of Super Jesus.
Oh my God. You about bad as Talladega Nights with Rockstar Jesus.
Man. I'm going to design a Super Jesus picture.
Oh God, no.
Photoshop is going on fire tonight.
Oh man. All right, but go ahead.
All right.
But go ahead, Taylor.
It's kind of like this. Okay. I've had this question asked me before. A lady said, "Well, how do you keep the fire going? Why you married?" The missus next to me. That's why. Okay, she ain't go night. Okay. She waving her hand.
Bye.
Hey, we see your hand. Hey, bye. Night.
I'm so glad she got a pretty hand. She ain't got no calluses. She had calluses, bro. We've been on you, Taylor. We've been on you, Taylor. Be like, Taylor.
Hey, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Rub his chest, girl. Go rub his chest. Go ahead. There you go.
She gone.
So, you're blushing. That's so cute.
She was there rubbing on his bald head.
Come on, baby.
So they say, well, how do you keep a relationship together? How you keep it going or whatever like that? I said, it's just like two people, like when I call it a relationship. That's what I call it. Relationship. Marriage. I ain't gonna assume everybody married. I just go with relationship to break it down.
Yeah.
So you must relate on one ship. You have a relation on a ship, meaning you're going in the same direction. You can still be on the same ship, moving around, doing whatever you want to do, or whatever. Somebody can be at the top, somebody can be at the bottom.
I dig it. I can dig it.
I like that.
Ahoy, mates.
Right. So you're still on one ship. So like for you have, this is the ship. Once somebody decides to abandon ship, then now this person is either going to drown or going to swim or get saved by somebody else and then jump on another ship. But if you wanted to actually work together, then on that relationship, you have to constantly keep working with each other to know what the other person is doing. That's with communication. We already know that's intimacy, that's sex, that's talking, that's checking on the other person. My missus, she don't like me talking about half the stuff I talk about. She be looking at me like, oh, I wish you shut up. But she still has to say, okay, this is what my man does. But I may not like it, but I need to know a little something. So just in case when these females pop up and be like, well, Taylor had was in a conference the other day, and you be like, and she go, I don't know nothing about no conference. Then the woman go, oh, I see an opening there.
Right. Absolutely.
Hey, she talk about sex all the time. And the man may be like, man, dang, okay, 50,000 positions. I get it. Okay, sex group. I get it. Okay, I get it. Sex couture. You got it. All right.
Sex couture.
But,
new group. Hashtag that. Sex couture. Page Diamond.
And the same thing with Lex. Be like, and baby, like he was like, yeah, girl, I did 250 today, baby. He was like, okay, I get it. You strong. You showed me last night. I get it.
You so strong.
No more.
You were so strong.
Yeah, you so strong. Because you had me like this. Oh, that's what Paige showed you the other night. Paige showed you that, huh? Oh, that's what that is. Oh, this gonna make me have the multiple today. This the multiple orgasm today. Okay, whatever the situation is. But in order to keep it going, we're 25 now. We're not 25, but I'm 25 now. How do I get to 45? You have to constantly keep interacting. That's just what it is. That's the key to anything. Mm-hmm. If you don't keep the maintenance up, it ain't about getting the car. It's not being on the ship. You have to keep the maintenance up on the ship so it can keep running. Once you stop the maintenance, that's it. Once you stop having sex with a guy, he starts to distance himself. Right when you stop being nice to the girl, she started looking for somebody to give her compliments. Right
when abandoned ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they created this thing in the last 5 to 10 years. Date night. This. The reason why they're creating date night is because the woman says, "Hey, you need to still take me out, still court me, still talk to me, say what's up." The woman, listen to me, yada yada yada. It's vice versa, but you have to constantly keep going, and then you have to understand. If y'all blow up tomorrow and y'all go
yes, put it out to the spirit gods. So I get the prayer warriors on it. Somebody,
we need that.
Just bring that in. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But let's say y'all go viral tomorrow, whether it go on video wise, you go on TV, or you just go straight radio. When somebody say, "Hey, we're gonna give y'all a starting contract of $1 million. Y'all need to do at least 35 shows." Every month or something like that. I'm just making it up. But hey, it might happen. But let's just say it happened. And then whoever your significant other is has to understand, yo, baby, I'm making $500,000. Yo, I have to do these shows right here. So we may not get to go out these particular days. I got to do 35 shows a month. And if you rolling with me, just like Paige said, if you rolling with me, you rolling with me. If not, you can get the hell on. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, maybe not in them words, but it's the same concept. I'm growing. I'm getting bigger.
No, not yet.
Either go on with me or you're gonna die off. Pretty much.
Absolutely.
Let me just leave it at
that. And let me just say, my quick answer to Lex's question. Then we get to Lazarus' question. And welcome, Lazarus. It's nice to see nice, friendly new people. That's wonderful. Definitely. You're welcome. For me, my recipe has always been this. Every year I do a quality control check. We come back to the table and we discuss the state of our relationship, meaning if there is something that, let's say, for example, last year I wanted to be monogamous, but this year I want to be in an open relationship. Can you handle that? You know what I'm saying? Last year, I'm just saying.
I can't handle it.
Last year, I was at your house every weekend, but you know what? Now I gotta grind, so I'm not really gonna be there. I'll probably be there maybe like twice a week. Probably on a weekday and one weekend. Can you handle that? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's the things that you need to discuss, because see, the person that I am right now, I'm not the same person I was today. I was last year on February 23rd. So. And at the same time, I do have to say this too, because I had this conversation, because I got a little, I gained a little weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of,
I gained a little weight. This is about a little 20, 30, right? 40, 50 pounds. Not much.
Yeah, I did for real. This for real. You know what I'm saying? So what I had a conversation, because it's a quality check, right? We had a conversation. I said, I appreciate you for not calling me fat. So now I've gained some damn weight. I appreciate you for not calling me fat. But it's my responsibility to lose this weight, because you didn't sign up for me at this weight. When you met me, I was a particular weight. So, and my responsibility to you, because you can't be around this bitch looking like the Marshmallow Man. I'm not gonna fucking stay. So how am I expect you to stay?
What if you say, you know what, Paige? What if you say, you know what? I kind of like that. I kind of like that weight. Then what are you gonna say?
But I don't.
So really, you were just telling him. Just because you ain't got no choice.
I'm doing this for the girl, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that I appreciate you not belittling me, not keeping me when I'm, when I'm in a certain space where my body may have changed a little bit, and we do that even with our ideals, when our ideals change in a relationship, when our schedules, it's like, we always want to revert back to how it started and how it was at the beginning. But you got to understand that in your relationship, you're supposed to be evolving. Right. It's not going to stay the same. It's not going to stay the same. If it does stay the same, that means y'all ain't growing at all. And then you should really be worried. Something's wrong there. So then it's like, okay, since you're not evolving, is this really authentic? You know what I'm saying? Because are you just, kind of like, just going with the flow, and you're actually, playing a part of a script in a sense. We talk about all the time, you're still trying to fit this idea of who you think I'm supposed to be. But there's no evolution. It should be some growth there. So for me, quality checks are very important every goddamn year. I'm asking, do you want to fuck somebody else? Every goddamn year. Because, listen, you might just want to. I need to be the first one to know, though. Right after you, of course, I need to be the first one to know that you want to do that. So nobody can walk up to me and have anything to say to me about mine. Don't have nobody in the streets coming up to me about mine. This is my space. This is a safe space for both of us. So you should be able to be who you are. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like the gangster coming out. But I'm just saying.
Right. So Paige,
you have to do that.
Paige, and I agree with that. I really like the every year do a quality control. But where I can tell you where there's going to be some gaps in there is often there's a fear in communication, especially communication that details specifics, because most people are very interdependent on one another, and that could threaten a potential conflict or people, destruction of the relationship. If we're having this thing, well, hey, do you want to sleep with other people? Well, yeah, I do. Well, I'm not okay with it, but we're interdependent. We got bills together. We got house together. We got kids together, so now we got to figure out how to deal with all that, rather than most people just suppress it and act like it's not there. Oh, it's going to mess it up eventually. It's going to come up eventually, but most people, just won't have that conversation. The question is, how do you deal with narcissistic? That's my God. Say hi to God over here.
Hey, God. Hey, bro. Oh, my girl.
Look.
Right. Camera time. We got some camera time today.
She said, I got some camera time.
Yeah, little cameo.
Mm-hmm.
Little razzle dazzle.
Yeah. God just came back from elevating. She was in a sweat. So she went down. She did the sweat today.
Oh, man, that's dope.
Oh,
so dope.
Taylor, man. We do sweats. We try to do sweats at least twice a month. And I'll break down. Well, it's a sweat lodge. So basically you go into a lodge and the temperatures get anywhere between 110 to 130. But we go in there and there's an elder that runs it, and we just show our gratitude and our appreciation for the universe. And we hit the different components and we respect the different elements of life, and we we bond. We bond.
You gotta
with
be hydrated, Yogi.
The question is, how do you deal with narcissistic abuse from people who only want to control you? So I think this was from Lazarus.
It was from Lazarus. Yeah, Lazarus is still here?
Yeah, Lazarus
is still here. Mike came in. Hold on, wait. I'm not seeing my people, man. This is crazy.
So how do you deal with narcissistic abuse from people who want to control you? Well, I'll tell you the first thing how you can deal with it. Number one is you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, what is it about that person that's attracting you to them? When we when we are in relationships and we deal with other people, there's an attachment. Now, of course, we can deal with stuff with like mother and, father and aunts and uncles and things of that nature. But you can still choose to separate yourself from that. So again, unless you're interdependent, meaning you guys have gotten together, that's your wife or something like that, and you guys have gotten together and you have assets together and things of that nature, then you can sit back and recognize and say, okay, I have a narcissistic person that I've chosen to be with. What is it about me that allowed me to accept that behavior? And now that I'm starting to wake up and evolve out of that, what do I now need to do in order to separate myself from it? Because it's okay that you evolve as a person and separate yourself. But again, my favorite quote, Deepak Chopra, our conflicts in our relationships is a direct reflection from our own weaknesses. That is one of the greatest tools, and I love it. And when you look at your relationships and then you take that relationship and then you look at yourself and say, how did I get here? How did I get invited to this game? How did I get in the environment? What is it about then that keeps me here? Because oftentimes, man, we like to complain about the quality of the food, the quality of the fruit that's growing on the tree, but deny the fact that that's our only source of food.
Right.
You know what I mean? You ain't made no effort to plant your own tree, or to nurture somewhere else, or even you ain't made no effort in order to nurture the tree that you have, so that way it could grow more quality food. Yep. That's why your food sucks. You have no nurturing capabilities.
Yep. You don't even believe your tree can nurture.
Yeah, you don't even believe it can nurture you. So already your thoughts is damaging.
Already messed up already.
So that's the first thing that you do in order to deal with people who are narcissistic. Next thing to understand is you got to learn to combat that or balance that with understanding. You got to understand that narcissism, if it's true narcissism, that is a psychological condition. That is something that they're conditioned in. That's a personality trait that is overboard. So that with that, it's almost like dealing with somebody who has PTSD. You know what I mean? They went to war, they came back, they've been conditioned a certain type of way. So now when you deal with them, you have to deal with them with a sense of humility. Like it's them, and you're helping them. So that means you're not putting them on a crutch, but at the same time, you're understanding it's a special circumstance. So this will help you not put ego and take things personally. Once you understand that, now it's like, okay, I can't take this personally. You know, I do that a lot with my sisters. I understand that I grow up in the same, the plight of me not having a father is the same plight that they grew up, they not having a father. So whenever they come out the mouth acting crazy or doing certain stuff or certain behavior patterns, I say, I love you and I'm going to continue loving you because I know what you grew up in. So there's a special condition that my sisters are dealing with, and I'm not going to take it personal because I'm strong enough to not take it personal.
Where is the Jermaine Jackson song?
Say it again.
Where's the Jermaine Jackson song? That should be the theme song going out. Anybody got it? Don't take it personal.
Right. Don't take it personal.
Get it with the sweet. Y'all got to do a sing along one day. All right, but go ahead. Seriously.
Right. Yeah, but so Steph, you're right. It's narcissism. It has its levels. It has its levels. You have some people that are borderline. You got some people who are just selfish. They're just selfish and immature. Know the difference between the two. But neither one of them you have to stick around for, and you can very much detach yourself and evolve from it. Neither one you have to stick around for. You just got to understand that while you're trying to evolve out the situation, balance it out with humility and say, all right, that's a special case. And they're not really talking to me. They're talking to my ego. And if I detach myself from my ego, then I'll be better off in dealing with the environment that they put in front of me, and then on top of that, again, heal yourself, find out how the hell they got there. You know, how did they get there? Y'all got anything else on that?
I think you got that one. I mean, yeah. Yeah, some Taylor. I think
I could storyline it, but
I mean, but you didn't really leave us much to do, you know.
My bad. Yeah. I told you, man. Look, I've told you, I'm like halfway hood, halfway intellectual. You know what I mean? I'm like
educated hood.
I like to expand on thoughts. Mm-hmm. Okay, so just from what Lex said, okay, he said all what he said, so I can't repeat all that.
Okay. I'm about to say, because you good, if you can do all that, you are.
Because I still got the story right here. So a narcissistic person. Okay, so you can also take on the abuse of what you already are used to. I'm saying on the man side of the game. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you're used to a woman punching you in your chest and calling you a punk, or saying you're not good enough, or you better do this, or we're going to have some problems. See, you can be pre-trained into that as a man because you suffered that as a boy when you was with your mom. Mm. So when you grow up, you think that a woman is supposed to treat you like that because your mama called you a punk. She called you the N-word. She called you sorry, lazy, no good for nothing. So you think that is normal. Mm-hmm. And you also are trained in the mind that even though your mom said she was a good woman, you never seen her with a good man, or no man ever stuck around. So you also can believe in the training of the abuse.
That's what men are.
Right. So you thinking that when I get with my lady, that I'm supposed to do the same thing because of what I constantly keep seeing. So just off of not just the woman, but what the narcissistic abuse is now have taken a light of its own as a being. And now you have become and you are indulged in that constant abuse because you keep replaying it in your head. And so you keep replaying in your head, and then you reproduce it over and over and over again with multiple relationships, maybe with your child or your son. That's the reason why you left the family. You're like, I don't understand. And women say, I don't understand why these men don't take care of their kids. It's not because the daddy wasn't there all the time. It's because the mom was the teacher of the son, and the son did the same thing that he saw his mom do or not do. And so he has become now the narcissistic abuse, and then he reproduces it again, and then it keeps getting reproduced over and over and over again. So that's another way to kind of expand on that.
Right.
But not saying that ain't let me make sure that's clear, because I don't want to get no bad emails or get bad messages. I'm not saying that it's a woman's fault and she wrong and she should have been with a man. I ain't saying all of that. I'm not saying that. Let's make sure that's clear.
Right?
Let's make sure that's clear. I was saying that in the concept of, well, where did that abuse come from? And you may see that a guy may tell another guy, man, you know, women ain't this and women ain't that. Where did he get that from? His dad wasn't never there, or a man was never there telling that women wasn't nothing. But his mom was always there saying, you don't be with these little old girls, because these little girls is fast. They're going to try to get you pregnant. They're going to try to get this and this and that. And then he carries that with him. And then he starts to copy that. And then the men teach each other. And, you know, iron sharpens iron. So now we're sharpening each other in a different mode. And now we're going out there being abusers in the world, too.
Right. I mean, I absolutely agree with you, you know, and, you know, what you're talking about is, you know, how you're conditioned from, you know, a young kid, and how you reflect that into as you get older. And even in your 20s, in your early 20s, throughout your life, you can also be reconditioned into different things, depending on what you allow in your life more often, the noise that you allow in. But yeah, dealing with narcissism, that's you know, it's a sketchy one. You know, narcissism, for people who may not know what that is, that's somebody who always makes it about them. You know, everything has always got to be about them. What's going on, Mike? You know, so you're going to get individuals. Yeah. So no matter what's going on, if it ain't about them, then they're flying off the handle, and somebody else's mama can die, and they made it about them. Oh, I can't believe you're going to their funeral. My mama died when I was 2. You wasn't there. Like, what? I know you when I was 2. So that's something that you guys, yeah. So yeah.
Listen, Lex, real quick. See, that's listen, I was using that same concept of why what you had said. It's the same thing. It's like you said, well, I know you didn't grow up with a dad, so I understand your situation. And that's the same thing like with a man is thinking,
right.
Well, I understand you didn't have no dad on the, you see what I'm saying? It's the same concept. Like I was mixing that. I got it off the same thing, but I was just mixing
right.
it. A little
it's the same concept.
Little sprinkles.
Mike, what we got, man? What's going on, brother?
How
you?
Late.
Cut my hair and stuff. And,
Your late ass. So. I'm selling out. Yeah, he in Dubai. I'm like,
ain't you in Dubai? Yeah, man. Yo, fam is rolling over there in December, man. So I'm gonna have to get up with you on an email or something, so that way I can start picking your brain.
Hey,
we on our way to Dubai, home.
Let's go beat me there. This is bullshit.
We was trying to get over there. Yeah, we was trying to get over there earlier, man. We was trying to get over there earlier. But yeah, I definitely needed
to
Dubai connect.
First. He my friend. I appreciate it. This plan.
The only reason why I understand the reason why he's here.
I'm only your friend, right? Nobody else's friend on earth except your friend, right?
Just mine, damn it. Yo, Lex, when we get off the record, I got to tell you about something too. Yeah.
All right. So what you got for us, Mike? What you got for us, man?
Yeah, my boy Taylor. Again, I'm just like you, my brother. I grew up without a father, but fortunately for me, I was exposed to my grandfather and my uncle, who me on as their son and as their kid, and took me under their wing and showed me exactly what needed to be happening, right? So I couldn't be the same thing. Oh, well, I ain't never had no daddy, but that's not really, that's we're gonna start making excuses, right? Sure. You only seen what you've seen, but that's not the only way to do something. Like I seen my pops beat the shit out of my mom until I was 12. Until I was big enough to tell him that, hey, you touch my mom again, I'll fucking kill you. But I've never hit my wife, although I seen that. So is that an excuse for me to hit my wife because that's what I seen? No, that's not an excuse. Yes, and that's the only thing that I was exposed to, because after 12, I never seen him again. I mean, I've seen him, but it was like, oh yeah, my son on the football page. Yeah, that's my son. Like, I don't know you. Like, you can't even tell me my favorite color. When did I lose my virginity? When did I start driving? Like, tell me those things that you would know about a son. You don't know that, do you? And this is a conversation that I'm having with him at 4:30 in the morning as me and this chick from the university was out talking. I'm 16. This chick is in college, and I'm out at 4:30. What the fuck you doing out at 4:30? I said, well, see, this is the problem, brother. See, if you was at home, I wouldn't have to be out at 4:30. You can tell me, hey, son, you know what? There's no reason for a 16-year-old to be out at 4:30 in the morning. But seeing that you're not there, and I have to take on responsibilities and bills at home, you can't tell me shit, bro.
It's true.
I'm still your dad. I'll beat your ass. Ooh, I've been waiting for this day. Let's get it. I'll draw the line across it. I will rip your ass apart. I guarantee it. I drew the line. You were like, you think you big now? You're like, listen, bro. I've been lifting weights since I was 12. I'm 16 now, so I got a good, 50 pounds of muscle on me. Let me put it to work.
Yo, Mike, you know what? I'm definitely going to hit you up and have you on with the Following Shadows blab. And here in a few weeks, I have a show coming up called Following Shadows. And this is the effects of young men who do not have a father figure, a father-like figure directly in the home, and the effects that it have growing up. And I was growing up. I'm a product of it. You're a product of it.
I only had
Taylor, are you a product of it as well?
I got lots of whippings. I ain't had no mama though. My mom passed when I was 13. So
I got my condolences.
Right. But see, and you can even speak on the other end. So we're gonna have that. And the reason why it's called yoga, the reason it's called Following Shadows is because I'm doing a documentary called Following Shadows. So it's it's kind of like a warm up to the whole doc. But we're definitely going to have you on. Another show that we're going to have on very soon is Building a Business in a Relationship. I'm going to have Dr. Boyce Watkins on the show.
Got that connect.
And he's, so he's going to be, yes, I got that connect. So he's going to, so as soon as we get all that stuff locked in, I'll let you guys know the date, but we're going to be really talking about how you can, what the dynamics are of building a business, being an entrepreneur, and being married in a relationship, and how important it is for both partners to understand the dynamics of business and relationships. So that's going to be kicking off in the next couple of weeks. I got a lot of great shows, a lot of great topics coming up. So I need y'all, man. I'm here for y'all. So I need y'all to tune in every Tuesday and Thursday at 9. I need y'all to share it. If y'all love the dialogue and y'all like what we're doing, just, let people know we're here. We're trying to blow this things up because I am looking to take this a little bit bigger and then bring more coaches in and just gather the master of the minds and create a platform where people can really start to evolve. Look, it's 11:15. I'm going to do my word and we're going to roll up out of here. Taylor, Mike, I appreciate, man, y'all coming through. This is Eastern, great lads. This is 9:00 p.m. Eastern. So look, don't hurt yourself. We appreciate y'all brothers, man, coming through. I hope y'all come back again on Thursday. The Thursday topic, I'll let y'all know before I get up off this blab. But yeah, we appreciate y'all brothers, man. Y'all stay easy. Y'all stay up. All right. So, ladies and gents. So, my word for
you like, am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here. So the word for the night, we're going to close out this show. So I want to give you all some troubleshooting tips when it comes down to your relationships. Like I said at the beginning of the show, oftentimes I believe that majority of relationships can be saved and they can be maintained if you both are dedicated to the vision. If you both are dedicated to the vision, you guys say, okay, this is what we want. We agree this is what we want, and this is what we're going to move forward through. You're dedicated to your decision. So if you guys are in that place and you both can authentically say that, these are some of the things that you can look to troubleshoot some of what I like to call side effects, because most of the time we're dealing with side effects. We're always complaining about side effects, but very rarely do we dig in, which is our tag for the show, dig in. Very few times do we dig into the root problem, the root issue, why those side effects are coming along. Meaning you got back pains and knee pains, not because there's something wrong with your back and your knees, because your ass is overweight. You're overweight is because you got bad time management skills and you don't allow time to take care of your own body. So we got to dig into the root problem. So when it comes down to your relationship, if you're having conflict in your relationship, a couple of things you want to ask yourself. Number one, how is your relationship supposed to function? You got to ask yourself this. And this is going to actually arise other questions. When you sit down and say, how is my relationship supposed to function? All right. So when you ask yourself, how is it supposed to function? What this is going to do, this is then going to say, what is it? You got to know what it is and know what it's supposed to do. So this is then going to dig into, what is my relationship? What did I build it upon? When we first got together, what did we say our relationship was going to be about? What is the vision for our relationship? And then once you figure that out, you can say, okay, what does that relationship look like? How does it function? How is it supposed to function? Next thing is, when did it last function correctly? Right. Ask yourself, when did your relationship last function correctly? And what's different now than what it was then? All right. Now, the next thing is, what changes in the environment happened that made your relationship function differently? You have environmental changes. So it may not be an internal thing. It may not just be the relationship itself, but dynamics outside the relationship, which then made that relationship construct unsuitable for that environment. So did anything in your environment change? Was anything new introduced? Did any trauma happen with you that's introduced in the relationship? Yeah. When did it last function correctly? Exactly. So did something happen outside the relationship that now affects the way the relationship functions? Next question. Where did you get your idea for your relationship? And wasn't intended to be used in your life. A lot of times we adapt ideas and relationship constructs that has nothing to do with us. And then we try to fit it into our lives. We try to take grandmamas and great grandmamas and mama and daddy's relationship rules and then apply it to our life. And then we're sitting here figuring out why the shit don't fit. Because it's too small for you. You're greater than that. You're in 2016. You're greater. So it doesn't fit. So you have to ask yourself, where did you get it from? And was it intended to be used for your life? Next thing, is your relationship rules, expectations, standards, is it universal fit or is it original manufacture? So that means, is it flexible? Is it flexible? You know, are your rules and your expectations and standards, is this something that can work for many different people or is it religious? This is how it's supposed to work for everybody. Conveyor belt, boom, boom, boom. This is what the Bible says. This is what it does. And it's supposed to work at any time, any season, any day. Boom. Is it universal fit? Can it work in different environments or is it original manufacturing? And the next thing is, can it be modified to suit your specific needs? Can those rules that you have in your relationships, can you modify them? You know, I learned from this OG, man, really great dude. His name Bobby O'Neill, and he was great with electronics, and he was a hoarder. And when you go to his house, he just had shit everywhere. I mean, he had every electronic on the face of the earth from like 1975 on up. It was ridiculous. But the one thing I liked about him, he said, I bought this and it was intended to do this thing, but I modified it and made it for something else that's more useful for me. And I was like, that is dope. So what we want to ask ourselves is, whatever that we've been taught in our life by our mothers, by our grandmothers, by TVs, wherever it may be, all that information is not necessarily bad information. But can you modify it to make it fit your relationship? Can it be modified? Does it have to be so cookie cutter? Can you say, you know what? I like that, but let me take this off. And now it's perfect for me. And be okay with it. And be okay with it. And the last thing before we rolling out, is it functional if you let it? See, a lot of times we have the template, but we don't let it work because we're married to our own thoughts, hurt, pain, ideas, preconceived notions, where our own false realities, our own practices. We're married to that mess. So we actually are in a good situation. We have a really good template, but we won't let it be functional. We're always disrupting it. We're always using our pet peeves to disrupt the natural flow of the relationship. We're letting our narcissism, we're letting our daddy issues, our mommy issues, we let Real Housewives of Atlanta and all this other stuff that we're kind of fed disrupt the natural flow of our relationship. So there's the reason why you can't get along with your man, the reason why you can't get along with your queen, your sister God, is because you're constantly disrupting it with bullshit that doesn't belong in there. So is your relationship functional if you just let it? Could it be a lot of y'all having trouble in your relationship because you just won't let it be? Let that shit alone. Let it prosper. Let it grow. Let it elevate. Why do you keep getting your hands in it? So those are some of the tips, man, in terms of trouble. Of course, that's not all of them. I got plenty more, but those are just some thoughts I wanted to give you in order to kind of take with you and look at your own relationships and see how they may apply to what you got going on. Again, I think that many of our relationships, I'm in love with Black relationships. I'm in love with Black love. I'm in love with Black unity. And I think that when we work together and we value one another and we have a united vision, that we can do much better and we won't have so many of these side effects and all these issues that we're having that really we're breaking up families which is causing situations like single parent homes based off of bullshit that really doesn't need to exist. We create a lot of our own problems. So, folk, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. That is my word. I love y'all, man, for tapping in. Tuesdays is always fire. Thursdays are fire as well. Yes. Paige, updates. Give us updates on what's going on with you. I'm gonna let you roll with this. I'm gonna let you tell the world what's going on. So give them an update.
No, G Talk. Tomorrow night, I'll be hosting Bedroom CPR, which is my blab, and we'll be discussing sex on autopilot. A lot of you tend to kind of just go with the flow and then wonder why it's fizzling. So we're gonna talk about that. You know, why are you having sex on autopilot? Do you even realize that your sex is on autopilot, and how can we get it from that place to somewhere else? All right. So definitely you can go ahead and follow me here on Blab by clicking my I guess you could say my account right here. If you're watching the replay, just go to blab.im /sex coach page, and then you'll see the subscribe button. I'm putting the actual link in the chat, so therefore you all can have it. You just go ahead and subscribe in now, so that way you'll be able to go ahead and subscribe, so that way you won't miss out. All right, I start at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, and just to let y'all know, you better get there on time because it's only going to be an hour, and you will miss out straight up. So if you want to, get unstuck and revive your bedroom, then, make sure you're on Blab tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. All right. So, Paige, how long will we have you?
I would say that, Thursday would be my last official show as co-host, but I'll be sliding back through, tipping through, you know what I mean? Making sure I, spread my glitter and my unicorns all over your Blab,
Right. Oh, you got to come back.
Absolutely. Only because it's just, 3 nights back to back is a bit much for me. So, I want to make sure that hush, Taylor, you know about the unicorns and glitter. You got to come to bedroom if you got to know about the glitter and unicorns. But definitely always will be here. Always, will be locked in, supporting. And I agree with you. You show people. I don't know if you guys were here at the beginning, but you show your appreciation for platforms and for what people are doing by sharing and spreading the word. These conversations must be had, and the little Twitter bird, the little Facebook share, it don't cost you anything to do that. So if you appreciate what we're doing, the dialogue, we're creating the energy. If you have any suggestions for shows and things like that, we're open. That's what we're here for. We are here to bridge the gap. And to make some sense of all these things, and also help people as many as we can, and we can only do that if you allow us to tap into your network. All right, because it's just 2 of us, it's a lot of y'all, so that's basically it.
Right. So moving forward, so Thursday will be Paige's last show on the Lex Kelly show, but she will definitely have her show on Wednesdays. We'll all be tuning in. And of course, Paige, you always welcome here.
You always grab a seat over at Bedroom CPR because you don't turn up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take some tea and some coffee to keep my ass up. But listen, to all of you guys, I want y'all to know. So now I'm not too sure if I'm going to grab another co-host or if I'm just going to solo this. But if I don't grab another co-host, then you guys will be my co-host. So I'm really going to depend on you guys a lot in order to, to come through, share it, duplicate the numbers. So that way, whenever you guys can't make it through, there's always somebody in here. So that way we can sit down and learn from one another. Absolutely. We can have people in the hot seat. I want you guys to be my co-hosts. Taylor, I appreciate you jumping on. Mike, Mike. Realtor Mike Will, I appreciate you coming in. Nikki, you dropping in. And I want you guys to stay here. I want you guys to be my co-host because there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. And on top of that, there's just a lot of nonsense that it can be easily eradicated just by having decent, logical, thought-provoking conversation. there's a lot of stuff that can be ironed out just by having this type of conversation and being open to different perspectives. So I'm relying on you guys heavily, you know, just to make sure you guys, man, you come through and you enjoy the 2 hours with us, man. And if you guys enjoy me and you guys like what I'm doing, man, listen, share me, let people know that I'm here because I'm here to help. And hopefully, you know, not hopefully, in the future, I'll be growing this thing, and my goal is to help people. So that's my word, man. So listen, we up out of here. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We about to come offline. I think Paige says she got a story to tell offline. So if y'all want to stick around for a few minutes offline, go ahead.
Come live.
But right now, we out of here.
You miss all the good stuff that happens after the recording. So get your butts here live. Then you won't be out of the loop. And you'll know about Dennis. And you'll know about unicorns and glitter. So you're out of the loop right now. You don't know.
You out of the loop. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. All right, folks, man. Thank y'all for coming out to Let's Kelly Show. We will see y'all on Thursday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. That's my word. I'm out.